Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie. It's a beautiful day to be alive and to be thankful. Today I want to feature the Philodendron Pink Princess. The scientific name for this plant is the Philodendron Erubescens. It is considered a rare plant in some locations. Now, rare is relative, okay? Relative to location, right? So in some places this plant is difficult to come by, and so it's considered rare, and it is a collector's item in the plant community. Now, what defines the Pink Princess is the pink variegation that comes on the leaves. It comes with different shades of pink. Now, the variegation on the leaf is caused by the lack of chlorophyll that is needed for plants to photosynthesize. And so when the plant lacks chlorophyll in that section of the plant, then you have the variegation. Now, it's good when you have a mix of green and pink, whatever the variegation is, because a fully variegated leaf, like if this leaf was all pink, it would not be good for this plant because it needs the chlorophyll. I believe that this plant is a little bit unstable in terms of the pink variegation that it gives off, but there are a few tips and tricks that you can apply to get this plant to give off more variegation. Right here is the offshoot from this plant. Again, this one has some variegation right there on the leaf, and the new leaf that's unfurling right there also has some variegation, and there's a leaf that is forming right here that will unfurl sometime soon. In terms of lighting, you want to expose this plant to very bright but indirect light in order for it to do well, because direct light will cause the leaves to burn, and I can show you one such leaf. Here's one leaf that I had that had a pretty good variegation on this one, but then it was left in the direct sun. I didn't realize that it was there and it got burnt. So just be careful of that when it comes to location and your Pink Princess. So the big question is, how do you get your plant to produce more pink? That, I think if you Google, that's the number one question that many collectors of the Pink Princess plant, they want to know, how do you get the plant to produce more pink? No, there's no magic formula. There's just advice that we can give. And for me personally, what I did to get my plant to give me more pink, I cut this one right at the base. Here is the part that I cut, right? And then this offshoot came off from the plant. And if you notice the pink on the stems, right? When you notice the pink on the stems, that can kind of give you an indication that this plant will develop some pink on the leaves. Here is one of the leaves that came off the new section of the plant when I cut it off, right? And I find that it still doesn't give me a lot of pink on all the leaves. This is the newest leaf that came out. Now this leaf, if you notice, it's a little bit damaged because it was very tight in the unfurling stage. It took a while for it to unfurl because I guess it needed a little bit more humidity, and so that is why it took such a while to unfurl, right? Here is another leaf that came up with some variegation. So it's after cutting back this plant that I really got the kind of variegation that defines the Pink Princess. The soil mixture for the Pink Princess needs to be well draining. Again, a mix of perlite, charcoal, orchid bark. Just make sure it's loose draining soil that does not hold on to the moisture so much, but you can use a little bit more potting soil because the soil needs to be moist but not soggy. I'm a little bit more patient with this plant because I realize that it's given me the best it can give me in terms of the variegation. So just be a little bit patient with your Pink Princess, but don't be afraid to cut it back, because that's really what worked for me for both of the plants that I've been sharing with you. So in terms of propagation, this plant can be propagated by stem cutting. You simply cut right below a node and you put that in water, and then you wait for it to get some roots. I would say probably about 1.5 to 2 inches long for the roots. Then you can plant that up. You can also propagate by root division. Like if there's an offshoot, you can take that offshoot from the mother plant and you plant that one, and then you'll have a new plant. Now, for the plant that I propagated, when I was trying to get my plant to get more pink, that top section that I cut off and I planted it, well, I put it in water first and then it developed roots, and this is the plant that I got from it. And if you notice, it got some variegation. So even though there was no pink on the stem, after a while, then I started getting some pink on the leaf. So as I said, this plant is pretty unstable, but yeah, it's that surprise of when the leaves are forming and you're okay, I wonder if there's gonna be some pink. I wonder. So I mean, you're waiting with bated breath, like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get some pink? And then yes, you get pink, or no, it's all green, but it's all good, right? As long as your plant is healthy, right? So there you have it. And just a quick recap. For the Pink Princess, make sure you give it a lot of bright indirect light in order to give it the conditions that it will need to thrive. If you are thirsty for some pink on your Pink Princess, don't be afraid to cut it back, right? Just look for where you have some pink on the stem, cut it back at the base. And guess what? One of my plants that didn't have any pink on the stem, I cut it back, and when it gave that offshoot, it also gave me pink leaves. So as I said, it's pretty unstable. So I mean, you just have to take what it gives you and just love your plants, whether you get that pink or not. I just want to encourage you to share your tips with me. How did you get your plant to produce more pink? Or just share with me your care tips for the Philodendron Pink Princess. Thank you so much for watching. And I do invite you to like this video, to subscribe to my channel, and remember to hit that notification bell for when I put out new content. You will be notified, and so you can share this journey with me. Again, thank you so much for watching. Be kind to each other, love yourself. Remember, God loves you. Take care of yourself. You are number one. And I'll see you in the next one. God bless you. Bye-bye.